excuse me. As you can see, there's a lot going on my workbench. And I'm trying to make the pulp for the Action Comics. This is the pulp color. Let's see if the camera's checking it out. Yes, it is. This is the color of my first batch. Guess what? That's an amateur color. I'm not happy with it. It is not something that will match. It's not something that is professional. I'm trying to up my game here, being that there is a nomination right now for the Comic Community Awards, and if you like my content, go give me a nomination, please, because why not? I put a lot of time into my uploads, and I'm doing it for the love of comic books, but I'm also doing it because people enjoy it based on the feedback that I'm getting, so why not nominate me? So enough of that. Let's go on with the color of the pulp that I just created in the last upload. This is not good. So now we're going to add a different color. And this is a cardstock that I use in the past. And I think this will be a good addition to the actual pulp that I just created. I think the tones of this cardstock will bring the color of the pulp the way I need it. So, what are we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to put the cover away because I don't want to wet it. We're going to take my blender where the pulp is in, and then I'm going to take the actual cardstock that I think will bring this color more to what I need, and we're going to put it in. Now, right now, putting this in, I'm not soaking it in water. There's enough water in this blender to have this cardstock disintegrate overnight and hopefully blend in when I blend the paper together. I'll show you another trick I do off camera, and it's something that I do when I try to accelerate the process. So I'll put the paper stock in, I'll just cover the blender, and I'll give it a little stir. And that's it. So what I did is I broke up the new paper that I put in, and what I'll do is I will let that soak for a few hours and then we'll hit it again. But right now it's about 10 o'clock at night, so we're gonna let this soak, and I push all the pulp down that's on the walls of the blender, because if I leave it there, it will solidify, and I just have to do it again in the future with water. So that's it, guys. This is a upload that we're going to continue once I blend this, and once I dry it, we'll compare the pulp with this color versus the new color that I put into the blender. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, guys, we are back, and the color has been, or the pulp has been soaking for about a half an hour. That's enough just to get the color, and then we'll let it soak a little bit more. So I know you guys has seen me do this before in the past a zillion times, but I like doing it. And I like showing how I do it, because I know not everyone who watches the channel has watched each one of my uploads. Because looking back now, I sure have a lot of uploads, and it's fine because I definitely enjoy the process. And I definitely enjoy when people contact me on Instagram and they ask questions, how I do certain things, what materials I use, and it just shows that there is a following out there for people who would like to preserve or conserve. That's what I consider what I do, conserve comics. And if I could show people how to do it, all self-taught guys, I did it through experience of failure. That was the big thing with me. And I always worked on books on YouTube, as people know, and I fail, and then I revamp my process, and that's my MO. That's what I do. But I think I've become pretty good at what I do, and it's from a lot of hard work, a lot of mistakes, a lot of tweaking, a lot of community support, such as Metarog, who let me work on one of his books. Mike Night Tiger, my good friend, let me work on a few of his books. And it's just the process of going through the procedure. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's all a learning experience. So here we go. This is the new pulp that I made. Hopefully it will be a matched color. We're not going to know until it is actually dried, and it may take a little bit to dry. I can actually put this on my heat gun, and I can do it where I interject heat, but I'm not going to do it right now. We're going to do the old-fashioned way that I do. I put a paper towel, I close it, and then I'll put it on the piece of glass, and then what I'll do is I'll put another piece of paper towel down, and then I'll put a second piece of glass, and then we'll put it over to my oil burner. But there is something that I have to move before I put this on. And you may think I'm crazy, and you're saying, Jerry the Jitterbug, what the heck is that? Well, what this is cockatiel eggs. I have 2 cockatiels, and they just had little baby cockatiels, and the mother keeps on laying eggs. So I took the eggs away because I want to try to stop her from laying eggs. But believe it or not, these eggs are eggs that have little babies inside. I think that maybe 4 of them have babies, 1 doesn't. So what I do is I put them on my oil burner, and it's warm enough to keep them going. And you have to move them around a little bit like this. And these will hatch, at least a few of them will hatch, and then we'll put them back in the cage for the mommy and daddy to take care of once they get close to hatching. And another reason why I took them away is because there are baby cockatiels in the cage right now, and I don't want to disturb the feeding of the ones that are born already with eggs, because cockatiels really are obsessive and they'll want to sit on the eggs, and I don't want to risk the new birds being fed. So I put them on my oil burner, and I think I'm doing a good job with it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let this dry, and then the next upload, we'll see how the color is. We'll compare it to the wrap, and if it's a good color, if it matches, the next upload, what we're going to do is we are going to do some leaf casting of the spine. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Okay guys, it's the next morning. Just a quick postscript. This is the color of the pulp that I just did. I don't have the cover in front of me, but I just checked it. And this is the nice color of tan that I need. The only issue is it's a little too dark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a half a sheet. Actually, I'm gonna add a whole sheet of my white sketch paper to the pulp. And hopefully this will bring the shade up to the white that I need. So that's it, guys. That's enough for this upload, and I'll see you shortly.